Hey guys, Lily back at StartmeupHK Festival Day 5. We're chatting about AI in education, and so I have here with me the author of Future Proof, Diana Wu David. How are you enjoying the day?
It's been amazing. I've learned so much, and it's not even lunchtime.
Yeah, so we've been chatting with people who've been going up on stage, right, talking about how you sort of integrate AI into education programs, how you educate the next generation to understand AI, and how we have to talk about morals and ethics and exciting things about that, right? So what's the focus of your book, Future Proof?
Well, I think I've been thinking about how to prepare people, how to unlock potential in a world that's going to be AI-led.
Yeah.
So it's been less about necessarily technology and acquiring all the skills in coding, which I do invest in companies like that, but it's really about how can we be more agile? What is our adaptability quotient? How can we approach the future and be sort of the most human that we can, as opposed to trying to just continue to keep up with tech all the time.
Right. So we get all wrapped up in this tech innovation side of things, but there's a culture component, right? There's the humanity of it that we need to focus on as well.
Absolutely. The art of humanness, I guess, is what we're talking about. But there is a lot of tech behind that. So some of what we'll talk about today is the role of, for instance, virtual reality in encouraging people to have empathy. So that's a big trend that I've seen, and in my own teaching, we'll start doing that. And most of that's leadership teaching, and people keep asking, okay, how can we have people collaborate well together? How can we have people develop empathy? And there are so many tools that allow people to walk in another person's shoes or understand better by using five senses.
All right, that's really super. So what's your background then, Diana? How did you come to enter this world?
I guess my background is a professional question asker, or sort of professionally curious. I have been in the business side of media for quite a lot, as well as education. And for over 10 years at Financial Times, looked at how we strategically were going to expand into the market. We were also owned by Pearson, which was the world's largest education provider. And we've since been sold to Nikkei. But really we were thinking, how do our readers want to be informed? And a lot of it did go into education. So now we do online learning to transform boards, to talk about leadership behavior and that kind of thing. So that was the sort of entry point for me professionally to start doing a lot more in education.
Okay. And do you think there's any particular group or segment that you are really keen to reach out to, that you think it's critical that they understand the issues of AI in the future?
Well, we were just talking to the Hong Kong government, and I think that idea of public-private partnership is really the only way that one city or one country can lift itself up. My book, Future Proof, Reinventing Work in an Age of Acceleration, is really focused at senior leaders because they often are forgotten. We sort of focus on the millennials and focus on the talent pipeline, but with demographics changing, they are looking at a very long life, 100-year life, and really wondering how can they add value in this, disruptive, globalized world. So that's been an interesting conversation that I've had around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I was speaking with Nest yesterday, and part of the conversation we were talking, how do you drive innovation? And the reality is a lot of it does come from the top down, right? The people who are making decisions on that level, they're shaping the culture, and so you don't need the young upstarts, right? They get it. They're trying to revolutionize things, but you need that message to really sink in at the top level, as well as sort of extend that reach with the public-private partnerships, right? So we want to come at this from all angles, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, it's fairly complex, but I think that I think yesterday I was with a bunch of chief HR officers, and they said that they've thought about getting the right people in with the right skills, and they've thought a little bit about innovation in their companies, and the difficulty is really putting all of these groups together.
Right.
So, the people who have been there forever and who have some of the emotional intelligence and the wisdom and are in leadership roles, having them really connect with some of the folks that are coming up to really change the face of work.
Right.
So really, part of it is work rhythms and leaders and millennials having very different ideas of how they feel they can get the work done. And the other is understanding as a company how you can integrate all of the new technology into basically the what's been company optimized for efficiency, and how you can put that to competitive advantage.
Okay, then. So in your role that I'm sure you get to you travel around a lot, you have lots of conversations, you meet lots of people. In terms of how Hong Kong sort of compares with other tech ecosystems, other communities, do you think that there's an advantage here, or how does the ecosystem stack up to the rest of the world in terms of preparedness for the future?
I came to Hong Kong in 1999. Which was a tech boom. So it's great to see it coming to Hong Kong again in a more mature way, frankly. I think that Hong Kong has some fantastic advantages. It's got a great workforce that's used to being very international. It's got rule of law and IP protection, which is very attractive to people who are coming to base themselves in Asia. It's got the Greater Bay Area, which is, all the manufacturing and the prototyping and amazing companies in Shenzhen and Dongguan, et cetera, and then all of the services in Hong Kong. So that, I think, makes it great. And in particular for things like logistics and fintech and some of the manufacturing-based IoT. Those are things that Hong Kong can do, I think, better than anybody else.
All right. So it sounds like the future is happening right here, right now, and it's going to keep going.
I hope so.
All right. Well, thank you so much for making time to chat with us today, and good luck on stage earlier. I'm sure the audience will be as riveted as I am.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to talk to you.
All right. So more videos coming back at you from the Beach City Facebook, as well as here on the StartmeupHK Festival official YouTube.